episode 37 of the fAnaticZ podcast. Can't believe we made it. I am Damien.
Frank.
It's Dylan.
And it's Jack. Let's go!
Yeah.
Let's go.
Jack.
Oh, man. And if you guys were
Yes, sir.
wondering, Jack is actually with us for the long haul. He's actually going to be part of fAnaticZ podcast.
Let's go!
Helping us out with national stories, etc. Just joining in on the fun. So definitely, Jack, we're glad you're with us.
I'm glad to be a part of it, man. Thank you guys so much for this opportunity, man. I enjoyed the first time hopping on, and once you guys offered for me to hop on for the long term, there was no doubt in my mind. Easiest decision of my life.
Yeah, a couple of days ago in the chat, I was like, well, if he wants to be on long term, I guess his initiation should be he's Kyler Murray's "Let's Go" chant. So
let's go!
I say he did all right.
No better initiation.
That was a good opening.
Appreciate it.
And I wanted to let you know, Jack, once you go black, you never go back. So, welcome to the podcast, brother.
Hopefully I get a little bit better paid per hour than if I could throw a spiral like Kyler Murray.
Yes, let's go. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Man. Game 6 of the finals tonight, boys.
So excited.
Yes.
So excited.
What are we thinking?
Got my Pistons shirt on for that, but you know what? It's going to be probably a minute before we get back there.
See, last time Jack was on, what was our predictions the finals would go to? I'd say it would go to 7 Thunder. So
I went 7 Pacers, and I also predicted each team would win a roadie.
You did call
I
that.
predicted Pacers in 6, which is probably statistically impossible now. So, yeah.
And I had OKC in 5. I thought it was going to be like a little bit of a closer 5-game series, like similar to how 2017 went, where there's like a few close games between the Warriors and Cavs. But, man, I was proven wrong, dude. Pacers keep finding ways to win. As soon as they won that game 1, I was just in shock. They took that one, and then they took game 3. And, honestly, they could have been up 3-1 in this series. So, dude, the Pacers, they just have that dog in them. Brett Carlisle knows what he's doing.
Well, you got guys like Halliburton that, you know, you saw how ineffective he was in the last game, but still he refused to not help his teammates out. He was still giving it his all. So Indiana, like you said, is not going away. And I feel like even if Halliburton doesn't play tonight and isn't as effective as he could be, for Indiana to force a game 7, their bench is going to have to be super productive.
Yeah, they made it dicey in the fourth quarter, even with Halliburton posting no stats and just taking up a body out there. So if Halliburton was 100% capacity, I feel like the Pacers probably would have won the championship by now. No offense.
Ooh.
I mean, I hate to say it and be that guy, but they're the same medicine that Boston got, bro. They're getting the same taste of it now.
Dude,
yeah.
I'm with you guys though completely, because like the fact that Game 5 was a 2-point game in the fourth quarter with like you guys like Halliburton doing nothing. Like it almost seemed like him being on the court honestly like kind of harmed them a little bit, just because he was literally like he had 4 points the entire game. They were all off free throws. Like he was missing every single shot he took, and the fact that they was still a 2-point game with about like 10 minutes left in the game. So Indiana's just that deep. They know what they're doing. Siakam's been playing really well, and I mean, dude, TJ McConnell, I don't know what happened with him, but like he's just blown up, like especially like the last few games. And if they would get that kind of productivity from him, and Halliburton has even like a so-so night, like there's a good chance they win. And Indiana's played way better at home. OKC's played worse on the road. So even like you guys have been saying, even like regardless of Halliburton's health, I mean, there's a real chance the Pacers still going to win this game.
Well, and I got to brag for Frankie real quick, because Frankie had some fanatic foresight when he said that TJ McConnell would be an X factor. And looky.
Yeah. You really did call it. Shout out to you, Frankie. And you also had the Pacers stealing game 1 as well, I believe.
I had them stealing game 1.
You did, you as well? Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, so shout out to you for calling that, though, because, I mean, I did not think it was going to be possible. I thought it was going to be rocking in OKC, and I thought, if anything, maybe the Pacers steal game 2, but you called that one, though, off the bat.
I took it as a part of a mathematical formula that had Indiana winning in 6. Even though that wasn't right, I'm still happy that I predicted something right.
So, I mean, with McConnell, it was easy to call because no matter how many minutes he plays, like we've seen since he's been in Indiana, like he can play 5 to 10 minutes a game and still end up with 6 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists. So the guy is just everywhere. He played like that in college. That's the main reason why he got and earned an NBA contract out of Philadelphia first. And then Indiana, they love him out there, and he's definitely repaying them back.
I thought Tyrese was out for the year though, and it was confirmed because he had to get surgery.
Tyrese?
What?
Yeah,
Howie?
When'd you see that?
because he got hurt, right?
Like for the series?
Yeah, for the series. Yeah.
Yeah, he got
No.
hurt like in game 5, but he came back in though.
Oh shit.
And
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's not out.
Yeah,
he's
still
technically a
playing.
game time decision, but he's
he's
playing
questionable.
tonight.
But I don't see him skipping out. I'm hoping like he doesn't like do anything to further aggravate the injury. But it's the NBA Finals, and like especially like you can tell how much he loves the city of Indiana, how much Indiana loves him. I can't foresee him skipping out on the NBA Finals, especially like it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. I can't see yourself sitting out of that. We've seen people play through injuries before, like Isaiah Thomas, Michael Jordan with the flu. I don't see Tyrese sitting out.
He has to play.
Because I saw that report right after he got hurt, and then I saw he was game time. I was like, well, shit. It was like, I don't know.
Was the NBA Centel maybe?
Yeah, maybe it was Centel.
Centel,
maybe they got you.
They fooled me a handful of times before.
I saw it on Facebook. I don't follow Centel on Facebook, and I saw it on Facebook.
Bro, speaking of Centel, I blocked them on everything, and they still show up in my damn feed.
There's always another one that pops up that you're like, oh my god,
like, how,
one
man?
little letter, like one number they throw in there instead of like using like a lowercase, like they'll use like a lowercase L instead of like the number 1 or something like that.
Yeah, I'm like, man,
you're like, what?
I'm tired of my heart dropping every 30 seconds on fake bullshit reports.
Honestly, dude,
today though on Centel that they said that.
Dude, that's like me anytime I make a parlay.
The fact that Halliburton was a real detrimental one in your last parlay is insane.
Dude, I was 8 points away from $220.
Bro, I was in Texas, and they only have Price Picks. And,
dude, that sucks.
I picked all these like this crazy ass lineup for like $1 to be like $96, right? And I hit it. It was Obi Toppin PRA was the last one I needed.
Nice.
It went over, and then the game ended, and then it went back under.
What?
And then I looked everywhere, and they took a rebound away from him. But I found one source that still had him was 5 rebounds, and I went back through the game with the play-by-play and read the play-by-play, and I could only find 4. Those bastards got me.
You gotta be kidding.
But I still have the picture of it saying 5.
What?
I'm so sorry, dude. They really screwed you out of that one. What?
Yeah, it's weird. The status is, but you know what I found out it was? They took one of the rebounds I saw them give him, and they turned it from a Obi Toppin rebound to a Pacers team rebound. And I looked it up. It's a new stat that they made to screw gamblers. Where if one or more person touched the ball, they don't have to attribute it to one person. They can just say it was a team rebound, and nobody.
Oh, that is trash.
I think if anything, like if they should count that instead of that, just give it to both players. Like let's say it was like he came down with it with like Miles Turner, like just give both of them a rebound. Like I just feel like that makes sense. That
it does make sense, but it makes sense to them to screw us gambling wise to reduce the ability of anybody to hit their mark by giving people team rebounds, which is nutty. I hate that.
Dude,
gamblers beware. They're trying to screw us on rebounds. They used to make so much money on rebounds, man.
Bro, game 4, I was 2 Ben Mathurin free throws that he missed at the end of the game away from another $100.
We were talking about that when he came into work, dude. I was like, he pulled a Nick Anderson and missed 3 of those suckers at the end. And like the fact that he had such an incredible game 3, like he's been underrated this series. So like even game 5, the dude was balling. And the fact that, of course, you put money on him for your parlay and everything like that, and that's when he's like, okay, now I'm gonna go choke. Like
that's so funny. But I noticed that about Indiana's team. They have a lot more of those McConnell, Mathurin moments. But Jalen Williams and SGA, they're kind of just too good.
Dude, they're the first duo since Russell and Durant to do 40-30.
I was all in on the Pacers, but I'm starting to realize the Pacers got to be whole. If they're 100%, they're my pick. But if they're not, then the Thunder are just too good.
That's the Thunder. It's like this is like the first series, I guess I would say, like where I'm not actually doubting the Pacers picking against them. I did have them beating the Knicks, but I didn't doubt them going to the finals. It's just I think OKC is just that deep of a team. They have so much talent. Like they're one of the few teams I've seen like in the last few years when like this team, if they're able to keep it together, like potentially could become a dynasty. And the reason for that is just because like the amount of money and everything they have, like the future draft picks, how well they're set up, and it's the way the team buys in. Like the fact that Jalen Williams is their second best player, like on probably a third of NBA teams, he could be a number one option. And in Game
100%.
5, it was amazing. Like it seemed like every time that Thunder needed a big play, he was doing it. Whether he was getting the right pass out, whether he was just driving down the lane, just bullying his way through any defender, or hitting the clutch three. Like when Pacers cut it to 2, and then he ended up hitting that one big three to help start having the roof cave in on Indiana. Just how deep they are. Like I think the Pacers are legit, and if they keep this team intact, I have no doubt they will be back. Like if you told me they keep this team mostly intact and within the next 3 years they're back in the NBA Finals, I'd be like, yeah, that doesn't shock me at all. But I just generally think like the Thunder are that well set up and just that well constructed.
Well, you know what's insane? These playoffs alone, or let me check. Yeah, during the playoffs this year, between SGA and Williams, they're averaging about 54 points a game just between the two of them.
See, that
SGA
was the main reason.
With 30, and then Jalen with about 22.
That was the main reason I picked against the Thunder originally, is because I didn't know if Jalen Williams would be able to replicate his regular seasons in the playoffs, especially in the finals. So I was like, I don't know, So, but what I'm starting to realize is he's less of a role player, and he's more of a Kawhi Leonard, silent number 1, silent number 2 on a championship team type of guy. He's not gonna bust off the page, but he's gonna bust off the court. When you watch him play basketball. So I'm like, dang, OKC is set up for freaking years if they really do it right.
They really are. And Damien, I think you were completely valid to have those concerns about Jalen Williams because like he really wasn't playing too well in the playoffs up until that point. Like I know he had that one crucial game 4 against Minnesota where he dropped 3-4 in like the deciding game of the series, but like for a big part of that Nuggets series, like he was definitely playing under his standards and everything. So that's completely valid. It really took until like these finals for him like to like really start taking off. And like I said, the fact that he's your number 2, like you can have SGA on the bench and just let him maintain and just carry the ball and run the offense, and you're gonna be fine. Like you can have SGA on the bench for 5-6 minutes in a row, and like you're not gonna be too worried. Like he's just been ridiculous this series. Like he's having a good enough series to win a Finals MVP. I think it'll go to Shea though, just because he's been even more ridiculous, which is insane to say. But like Jalen Williams is easily going to go down. I think is probably a top 5 number 2 in NBA Finals history. Like based off this year.
Yeah, he has that closer ability. I feel like when he's on and the other team is rallying back, he hits those timely threes that break your back and hurt your soul. So it's like, those type of players are important.
100%. Like a couple, the last 2 games, there's been instances where Indiana's been in on charge, and then the very next play, somebody feeds SGA. He's taking the shot, or he's even down low, and he just kills the momentum.
Yeah.
And they showed his shot chart. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're able to go. I want to interrupt you.
Oh, it's okay. They showed his shot chart, and I think 7 or 8 of the 11 and 12 or however many shots he took were all dunks, drives, straight to the rim. And people don't play like that anymore. So I feel like people don't know how to defend it well when someone's just unstoppable driving to the basket.
Well, yeah, because you got guys in these, today's game fouling out on hand checks.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I think what you're saying was a great point, Damien. Just how he looked at how he saw the shot chart of how many he got in the paint. It seemed like every time they needed a bucket, he was just outpacing everyone and outrunning the Pacers and just driving the paint. And it's insane because you see how big he is. He's got some weight to him and everything, and just seeing him move that fast and being that agile in the paint and still being able to get these layups to go are insane. And like how I said, they don't know how to guard the paint. You see that with SGA. I know a lot of people are talking about him being a foul merchant out there and getting all these free throws, but if you look at it statistically, he's shooting the normal amount of free throws that former MVPs like James Harden or even Kobe Bryant had back in the day. It's just there's definitely sometimes where it's I can see that more of a happy whistle, but the times where he's been able to get in the paint and everything like that, they truly don't know how to guard him. And even some of these layups where I'm oh, that's not going in, and then it somehow goes in off the glass perfectly. These guys know what they're doing, and it's honestly really impressive to see, and I'm glad I'm not taking the finals for granted.
100%. Like a couple, the last 2 games, there's been instances where Indiana's been in on charge, and then the very next play, somebody feeds SGA. He's taking the shot, or he's even down low, and he just kills the momentum.
Yeah.
100%. They've done everything right ever since they, started this journey. It's just amazing to think that where it all started, and then now, 10 plus years later, they're on the cusp of winning the first championship in franchise history without any of the marquee names that originally, rolled with them, like KD, Harden, and Westbrook. So it's definitely good to see a young group and a team that was actually built the right way still be able to make it to the NBA Finals and prove that, hey, you can still get it done without, you know, trading superstars for superstars, or, you know, you can still develop a real squad that can contend for 5+ years.
I
No,
mean,
You guys
go ahead.
remember
My
how
bad.
bad?
I interrupted you this time. Go ahead.
you're good. Just I'm with you. Like the fact that they weren't able, like the fact that they had Kevin Durant, Serge Ibaka, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden all nationally, and they drafted them, and they still weren't able to get it done. They were only able to get the one win in the 2012 Finals against the Heat. And the fact they built this team, like if you'd have told me just a few years ago the Thunder would be in the finals, I would think you're on crack. Like they was just 2 years ago, they were getting eliminated by the Pelicans in the play-in, and now all of a sudden they're in the NBA Finals, and this team doesn't look like they're slowing down. I mean, it took the Dallas Mavericks going absolutely nuclear with Derek Lively, Luka, and Kyrie to stop him last year. And looking forward, looking in the future, it's gonna be a while to slow these guys down because I can even tell. Well, they haven't won the finals yet. Let's say they do go on and win it. I feel like this is a team that's just not gonna be satisfied with one. Like they honestly want to win multiple championships, and you can see them all buying in. Like Caruso is the one guy on their team with the championship experience, and he's out there out hustling. He's there fighting for every steal, every rebound. You can tell he wants to win that championship. And the fact that he's already a championship, he already could just be like, I got my ring, I'm good. No, that man's out there and wants to win another one. And you can tell, like, by the rest of the team, like, they're hungry for that. And they give me the feel of the 2015 Warriors, where, like, even if they win the championship this year, teams in other, like, the media is not going to give them the credit they deserve. And I could just see them coming out next year with, like, a vendetta. Like, you know what? You guys doubted us. Like, you're going to say it's like a walk this just this one time. We're going to go do it again, and we're going to set the precedent even higher. So, it's going to be interesting to see. And like, I'm grateful. Like, I'm really looking forward to this next era of the NBA, especially like they're a fun team to watch too. Seeing how they run out in traffic and how fast and high pace and how highlight action oriented they are. So I'm looking forward
Yeah,
to this one.
me too. You got to give the OKC Thunder's front office a lot of credit because ever
Oh, yeah.
since they became a franchise, they've been competitive, going to the finals, having MVPs on their team. I don't know if any franchise got off the ground as fast as they've gotten off the ground, honestly. Just started going to the finals and having MVP players right away. And they have a consistent path to the future to still keep winning. So that front office, I'm jealous, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Yep.
I'm jealous of that.
100%. Yep. Me too. Me too. Just
Mhm.
seeing how they're dominated. I'd say the only team I could think of that might have had a better start might be the Miami Heat, just because they went on for all the championships. But then again, though, they also had LeBron and Chris Bosh sign versus OKC, who just literally built it off their draft pick. So, I mean, the argument's there, but I'm with you though. The way that the Thunder built off since they became a franchise, like they've been consistently competing every year. It seems like they've had like maybe one down year. Like even when they had the Chris Paul experience, where like you thought they were going to be like one of the bottom three teams in the league, and they end up making the playoffs and coming one win away from the second round. Like every
Right.
single year, competing or defying expectations.
Love it.
100%.
Shit, and you could say the same about Indiana too for the last couple of years.
Well, shoot,
Not now. Not. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
anytime these playoffs, I've had, I picked the Knicks last series to beat the Pacers, and every single time and time again, they proved me wrong. They did the work. They didn't, put their heads down on any play. They just got back to work. And, just as they have the entire playoffs, they've defied expectations. They're still here. So even though the series is 3-2 with Oklahoma City potentially winning the title in the building tonight, I think the Pacers, even with Halliburton limited, they're going to protect their home floor. They still have a lot of pride, a lot of energy. The bench is going to take over. If you get 10 plus from Miles Turner, Obi Toppin, Mathurin, and McConnell does his thing, and then Siakam adds his 20 plus, I don't think there's any, reason why the Pacers can't force a game 7. But Halliburton's going to need to be a little bit better for them to really shock in Game 7 in Oklahoma City.
I wouldn't be surprised though if he comes up with clutch shots in the fourth quarter, whether to tie it up or take the leads back and forth and all that. And it'd be a good story how like being clutch hurt and all that. So
So who you
it'd be
guys got
impressive. It'd be
tonight?
impressive to see though for sure. So
Yeah, 100%. I mean, personally, I think OKC does get it done tonight. I'd say like something like 103 to 89. But that being said, if you tell me that the Pacers win this game, either in a close game or in a blowout, I would not be shocked in the slightest. Like Halliburton hurt or not, Indiana's just one of those teams. Like you said, they keep proving me wrong. Every single time you doubt them, they just come out swinging. Even with that being said, even though I have OKC winning this, I think it's going to be close throughout the first 3.5 quarters, and it would just be Oklahoma City pulling away late, either like SGA coming up big like he did in Game 4, or maybe it's Jalen Williams, or I mean, Chet has been decent, but he hasn't really had like that breakout game, and I'm still waiting for that. But then on the other side of the coin, I'm waiting for Miles Turner to have his breakout game. He's been struggling a lot this series, so
He's been trash.
yeah, he's not been great. He was my X factor for this series. Like I was like, if he could hit
Me
a three,
too.
different. So let's say he finds that spark tonight, and then I mean, if he's able to start hitting it from three and everything, Indiana's probably going to win tonight. But my heart and my guts telling me OKC closes it out tonight.
Well, Halliburton is going to play. That just came down the pipeline. Halliburton is going to play tonight.
All right, let's go. Let's go.
Gamer.
So,
Let's go!
yeah. To that same effect, I think that Indiana will win tonight. The game was super close with Halliburton scoring, nothing basically. So I think he's going to play better. The team's going to be charged up to not, that back against the wall. We are going to, elimination game hunger. I think they'll win. And I don't know if they can win in OKC though. So
that'll be a tough one. I know OKC's a lot better of a team at home. Yeah, and OKC's only lost 2 consecutive games twice this entire year. And one of them was towards the end of the year too, like where they were kind of like just like coasting at that point because they won the West by like 13 games at that point. I'll tell you what though, I am pulling for Indiana tonight. I want OKC to win the series, but it's been 9 years since a Game 7 in the NBA Finals, and this has been an awesome finals because like no matter who wins, it's a team that hasn't won it yet for like their franchise, which will just be awesome to see.
Yeah, and I think that even with that being the case, I'm happy that it wasn't just some quick, fast sweep or blowout because
both.
It's going to be a memorable series, especially because people had such low expectations for some reason going into it. So I'm excited too.
Yeah, you and I both. Like I honestly, regardless of how this plays out tonight, I would say that this has been more entertaining than the Stanley Cup final, and I thought that was going to be way more entertaining than what it was. So,
is it already over?
Yep. Yeah, ended up waxing Edmonton the other night in Game 6.
Sheesh, I was watching that game too.
What about you, Dill?
I think Indiana's going to edge out Thunder. I felt since before Game 1 it's going to be a 7-game series. I feel like it's going to be like a 101-96 game Pacers.
Ooh, okay,
it's gonna be free throws at the end of the game. That's gonna make it by like 5.
Nice.
So I think for once the free throws are gonna work against OKC. I like it.
My thing is,
because SGA definitely pushed off to get the lead in the other game.
I think that was a traveling Game 4. That was wild. I saw them get away with it. I'm like, they got so lucky they didn't call that right there.
I can definitely see it being a defensive game though, because both teams are gonna have to want it. Because Pacers gonna need it to go to 7 and win it, and then Thunder are gonna try to go to the finals. So both teams have to play defense in this one. So
it's like it's like you said, Damien. I mean, ultimately, I did pick the Pacers in 7. I think realistically, even if Halliburton is limited, they have enough horses, and he can play a decoy to at least help them get the win tonight, because Indiana's crowd energy is one of the most unreal atmospheres in the NBA, in my opinion, because just every play, every game, the crowd is so involved. And after every shot, if Indiana starts out hot, Oklahoma City could be ran out of the building. And I feel like Indiana wins this game, not easy, but it's a lock if Miles Turner scores more than 20 points.
Oh, easily. There's no if you tell me he scores 20, there's no way they lose that game.
114, 108, Indiana.
If he
I
scores
don't even know
20
how
and they
to
lose,
score
that
that.
means Pascal Siakam scored 0 points or something.
And I don't see that happening unless he gets hurt or something like that. Regardless of what Halliburton does, if Miles Turner goes for 20 and everyone else does a normal production, there's no way unless SGA decides to drop a 50 bomb or something like that. That is the only way I see that happening.
I was gonna say Siakam's still averaging about 22 points a game himself. So even if Miles Turner does go off, Siakam is still gonna get his buckets.
And hot take, I think if the Pacers win the series, Siakam comes away with Finals MVP unless Halliburton does something absolutely ridiculous because this series he's been consistently their best player.
He's got everybody on his back. Besides McConnell, consistently he's the guy that's got everybody on his back, and also. Just in general, I like Indiana's spirit and just the way they're coached. Rick Carlisle, as I said at the beginning of the series, is going to be a very key component for this series. And no matter how much Indiana has gotten down, they're not deterred. They get back into the game and they make it a game. No matter how far they've been down, they've come back. And as long as they have the spirit that they can win, they're not. It's not over until the clock literally hits 0.
Yeah. I never count them out, especially I'm so thankful I was able to witness both the New York game and the what's it called? The game 1 of the finals live. Just because it like you said, you can't count them out. Even when it seems like they're dead in the water, it's okay, when's the comeback gonna start? They just find ways to win and pull it out at the end, which is they do it on a historical level too, and it's been entertaining nonstop throughout. So even though as a Pistons fan, of course, I'm rooting against the Pacers, it's been a joy to see, and I'm glad I was able to witness it live.
Well, shoot, us Suns fans are just watching these finals well, dang, at least we don't have to worry about getting our hearts broken in the finals this year.
Man, I feel so bad for you guys. I feel so bad, dude.
They're not even making the playoffs. Checked me out early.
Dude, it's just it's wild how it seems like it's just been down and on a steady decline year by year since the finals.
Yeah, but we got all this buzz going on with the Kevin Durant trade talks now. We got at least 6, 7, 8 teams on it now, but really 2 of them, KD maybe wants to play for, and it's either a Texas team, and that's it.
Who cares what KD wants?
I know, that's what I've been saying.
That's where I'm at too. I'm a KD fan, I'm not a Suns fan. I just enjoy watching Kevin Durant play. And even that's where I'm at now. I'm it doesn't matter what this guy wants at this point. Whatever the best offer is for him, you send him there.
Did you hear the Shams report that basically it's felt that teams are playing chicken with KD?
Yeah, I saw that.
I wouldn't be surprised if honestly there is a deal in place. They're just waiting till after the finals to announce it. And ultimately, like you guys said out of the gate, as much as I love Kevin Durant and it's been fun watching him play for my favorite team, you've got to put the needs of the franchise and this retool first. All due respect to KD, he wants to go to a contender, but if a contender is not offering us anything that's fair, because we've seen what happened to Luka, and then Desmond Bane fetches 4 first-round picks.
Yeah, what?
So if we're not anywhere in the middle of that, I say we take it off the table and roll with KD.
I saw that the Knicks were reluctant to work any deal for KD because of his desire to play for them, which kind of crushes my hopes for Cat or Mikal Bridges coming here.
Yeah, those dreams are gone.
James Dolan's petty because KD wouldn't join him in 2019.
Dang, that sucks. That crushes all the hopes that we had a couple weeks ago for that.
There's still a lot of good, realistic trades on the table. We've just got to pick our spot and not, sell early.
I have an unpopular trade that I like that nobody's talking about, and it's what the Raptors are offering us. They're offering us the 9th overall pick, Jakob Poeltl, Emmanuel Quickly, and RJ Barrett.
That's actually a good return.
Yeah,
that's the best I've heard out of any offer.
That would be so awkward for Kevin Durant to play there, though, because he'd literally be playing for the team that cheered as he tore his Achilles. I don't know if you guys remember, but when he was he literally did a standing ovation as he got hurt, and they were happy he got injured, and that's got to be weird for him playing in front of the same fans that cheered when he got hurt.
He would never do that.
That's exactly why they're probably not on his list.
Yeah, that's exactly I did hear a little bit of
Jesus.
rumors too about the Boston Celtics potentially being there because I know that was one of the teams he was considering back in 2017. I'm going to make a separate video about that because I think that's one of my hottest unpopular opinions. I think he made a mistake going to Golden State instead of Boston, but that'd be interesting to see if he ends up there somehow.
That's an interesting video. I like that. If he ends up in Boston, there's no way to do that without taking on Kristaps Porzingis, probably, right?
Well, shoot.
So I'm good. He's too injury prone, man. He's a great player, but he just gets injured every year in the playoffs. No foul. Every single year of his career, even with Dallas, he would just get injured. So I'm cool.
Both the players are injury prone. Kevin Durant's made like 2 All-Star appearances like the last few years. Like he's barely played in the playoffs too. It seems like every time like Kevin Durant's like need to have like show up in the playoffs. Like he's not been available. Like he was. I remember he got hurt the first time he got traded over to Phoenix. He barely played throughout that instance. He's been hurt like the last few years, like throughout the regular season, and even with the Nets in 2021, I remember he was number 1 for MVP, and then he got hurt like in February and ended up missing like 6 or 7 weeks and completely took his name out of MVP conversation. But like up until then, he was putting together an MVP campaign and averaging like over 30 points per game. Like he was killing it.
But we know why he's hurt though. We don't know why Kristaps is hurt. He's hurt with a mysterious illness. I'm cool on that.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Yeah,
the bong water.
Yeah. Yeah, when it's mysterious stuff that they can't say, I'm cool. That's weird. And it's too much. It's not that
Boston,
good.
Dude.
If we can get Jaylen Brown, I'll take whoever else you can, but we would have to give up Beal or something because we can't have 3 people playing the same position.
Well, see, that's one of the things that's intrigued me most this offseason. Reports that one of the biggest questions in the Suns interview process would be, how would you work with Bradley Beal? And the feeling I got from Jordan Ott is that he's ready to basically roll with Booker and Beal as his top 2 guys, and he's pretty confident. He thinks it could work.
Ready to roll is probably not the way to say it. Being forced to roll because there's nothing else you can do is the reality of the situation. We don't have any moves. Like when you're playing a game, you don't have any moves, you stop playing. They don't have the ability to stop playing, so they have to continue playing in the position that they already worked themselves into.
Right. And then one of the biggest things, and I've talked to numerous people over the last couple weeks, and it's just like the biggest mood is, you can't fault Matt Ishbia for taking a swing, trying to hit a home run, because he literally came in and did what everybody wanted him to do, what Sarver wouldn't do, except he just kind of went reckless with contract jargon he had no business with, and that's how we got trapped. But, realistically, he had the right intention at the beginning. It just went to the shitter.
Yeah,
I kind of want. Go ahead, Jack.
Sorry, I just was just gonna go on. Like I know I mentioned this last podcast, but like, dog, I so want to see you guys work out with Chris Paul and Devin Booker. Like just that team, like get them fully healthy. They were the only ones that like really competed with Denver that entire playoffs, and they weren't even healthy. And just I feel like if you guys would have ran that back, like if Ishbia would have just got Kevin Durant, and then like, cool, I got the big guy you guys wanted. I'm staying out of this now. I'm letting you guys control it. If you guys are healthy, like you might have a ring by now. Like I mean. Imagine how awesome that Dallas series would have been like last year too. So there's always that rivalry between like Luka and Booker. Like having Kyrie and Luka versus Kevin Durant, Chris Paul, and Devin Booker. Already got the Suns and Mavs going head to head, and then Kyrie and KD, who just left their former team in the Nets, going head to head. Like, dude, the storylines and everything would have been awesome. I just feel like it was such a missed opportunity right there. And like that, just oh my gosh, that's breaks my heart.
No, and I was the biggest like champion of the whole. Oh, Matt Ishbia did what all the fans wanted Sarver to do, but I've been thinking about it. And did he? We didn't want Sarver to wildly spend money and destroy the team. We wanted Sarver to do competent moves that led us to a championship. Right. Keep continuity with players and coaches. I don't know if that's what Matt Ishbia is doing. I feel like he's just throwing money at the problem and hoping that it fixes it.
Yeah.
Failing.
The dude at one point had hopes of spending hundreds of millions of dollars of bringing the Coyotes back here. So like when he's just throwing hundreds of millions of dollars around at random things and contracts in the NBA, like I don't think he's really wise with his millions of dollars that he has in his bank account. So
100%. It's just funny to see the direction the team has gone since we got him. I just want to say Jack's absolutely right about the Chris Paul thing. I didn't mind so much getting rid of the Twins and getting KD, but if we're gonna do that, we have to have some sort of actual real structure and plan for the offense, the defense, the team, how
You
it's
have to
gonna
have a
function
real
with
floor
these three.
general.
Yeah.
Yeah, just in a real system and a understanding of, hey, this is how we're going to play basketball with these players in order to win. We didn't get that.
Right.
We just said, hey, we'll just play with each other, and we're all so good, we're all going to figure it out. And that Bill trade, it didn't make real sense. He
Well,
wanted
it's like
another guy that was scoring
he
30 points plus a game, and didn't think about structurally how is this going to work. It's like, oh, positionless basketball. Well, that only works with like Wembanyama type players that can dribble and be tall and shoot threes and stuff. It doesn't work with three guards. This isn't
right.
Goran Dragic, and Eric Bledsoe back in the day
Well,
when
not
we
even
had the
just that.
three-headed monster.
That's the name.
This isn't pickup ball at your rec center. You can't have three entirely, ball dominant players that live to have the ball in their hand be on the same team.
Exactly. That's why Luka can never play into a championship team with multiple stars because he needs the ball more.
Mm-hmm.
That's how the Booker is. That's how KD is. They need the damn ball. They're special people, and we can't have. So I feel like maybe we can be good if we maximize around Booker and Bill, but we have to get some big stretch fours and some big stretch threes, and the other three players need to be dogs. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, and then the sad thing is a lot of it, without knowing what's going to be coming our way, even evaluating the draft is a lot of, hypotheticals or mysteries because we don't know if we're just going to have the number 29 or if we're going to have picks that are from the KD trade. We don't know anything exactly right now, but other than what's being thrown.
There's so much uncertainty like up in the air for you guys right now, especially with you saying that. Like, I do think there's a chance that there's possibly a trade that could have already gone down and they just haven't announced yet because it's the finals and stuff. I think there's any chance though that like he might be traded, like maybe they might be in talks with either the Pacers or Thunder, and like that's why nothing's gone through yet. Cause like they're waiting to see how the finals wrap up. Like, do you guys think there's any potential that being the case, even if it's only like a 10% chance?
No.
I see at least, a 5%.
Okay.
Hey,
I
if
mean,
the
that's
Thunder,
very plausible.
maybe if the Pacers lose, I don't think so though.
That'd be wild. There's so many teams I could see him on. Like it's wild. Like even like if I'm like being the Detroit area and everything like that, just even hearing like the rumblings, like the Pistons might be interested in him. As long as the Pistons won't give up too much for him, I'd be okay with that. I know you guys would be upset with that because like we wouldn't be giving you guys too much back in return. But I mean, the dude is 37 at the end of the day, and Cade Cunningham has been great at running the ball and like generating the offense. But like, it'd be interesting to see how Cade Cunningham would fit into our system, and if he'd even like it, Detroit. So
Well, he needs a big running mate too.
yeah, I mean, I'd love to see the duo and everything work out, but like, it would just depend like what we could get him for. Like, if we got him for like a cheap deal and everything like that, like a 1 year. But I know he's already asked for like at least like a 2 year minimum, so I know it'd be like a 2 year thing with him. And I don't know. As a Pistons fan, I really like what we're going, how we approach this year with our entire team and making the
Yeah.
playoffs. Even
You
with
guys
Jaden,
just need to focus on continuing that development and make good draft picks, and you guys will be just fine.
yeah, it's
Right,
like
you guys don't need KD.
if he were younger, like he's 37 now. If he were like even like 33, 30, I don't know, 34 is maybe push, but like 33, absolutely bring him over here. But like the fact that he's getting older and like his injuries he's had the last few years, it's like how like I don't know. I'm not as a Pistons fan. As much as I'd love to see KD here, unless you get him for like a really good deal, I don't want it.
a lot of our turnover issues revolved around him too. So
And what would you even give us?
because we were
What would
ranting
this
and
price
bitching every
even?
week about us turning the ball over a lot. So
And the reason why I wish you guys like still kept Chris Paul because like he was perfect for that system. Like he was great at facilitating the offense. He was finding the open shooters, finding everyone open, and like when you needed a bucket, he still was killing it from mid range, and even it was like shooting it from three pretty decently too. Like That's why, like, when I remember you guys got Beal, I was like, what are they on? Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, with Chris Paul, like him running any offense, it's like he's a conductor and everybody around him is an orchestra.
Everyone plays better when he's on the court too. Like that's just
He
a
makes
fact.
every team better.
Yeah.
Look at, I mean, he's. I don't think he's going to be back in San Antonio this next year, or maybe not. But like even with the short time he's been in San Antonio, you've seen how locked in he is on helping these young guys get better. He still has a lot to give, and a lot of these Spurs players have improved just with having Chris Paul on the bench.
Absolutely. Even without his skills, just like the veteran presence like that he has. He's played in the NBA for what, like a little bit less than 20 years now. Like just the amount he's played and the amount of experience he's had. Like while he hasn't won a championship, you can't fake that experience. And he's seen stuff that a lot of these young guys have not seen. And just being able to provide that like for Victor and De'Aaron Fox, like that's gotta be huge for them. And that's why I said like I wish he stayed on the Suns because he would have had his experience along with KD's championship experience with the Warriors. And like there's a real chance I think you guys would have gotten it done.
Do you guys feel like the point guard's kind of mandatory in the KD return, especially with how they kind of developed with Tyus Jones and all that?
Yeah, that was an interesting fit.
It worked at first. I just think that like I said, there was no real structure, there was no real roles, and I mean he wanted to be a point guard, and there was like Book was the point guard.
Well, not only that, but it's just like he had no real, instruction, but just basically, with what we've heard, it's kind of like everybody was just off in their own little world.
Because if Kenny does go to one of his Texas teams that he goes to, which is San Antonio or Houston, because if it's San Antonio, I mean CP3, there's a CP3 reunion right there. But if we send him to Sacramento, De'Aaron Fox is also a very attractive deal too. So, which is already a big upgrade at Tyus Jones already. So,
I don't want our guard to be a shooter. I want them to be a
Pass first.
pass first. Yeah. Like we already have enough people to score. Like we don't need that anymore. Let Book be the main scorer. Let him get back into his bag and become consistently great scoring again. Bill can be the number 2 scorer. Let Bill some nights go crazy too, And let's get some Aaron Gordons. Let's get some Michael Porter Jr.'s.
Yeah, some good role players. I'm with you on that. Yeah, I mean, if Grizzlies were able to the Grizzlies were able to finesse the Magic for Desmond Bane like that, I don't see why you guys can't do the same. Just the difficult part with you guys is like Devin Booker is too good of a player for you guys I know you guys are gonna re-sign him, like that's what all the reports are saying. He's too good of a player for you guys to tank. Like he's so talented. You guys aren't gonna finish in the bottom of the West like completely. Maybe like the bottom 3 or bottom third of it. But he's too good. At the very worst, you guys will be an 11 or 10 seed with him playing because he's just that type of player. Like he's still, when healthy, top 15, top 20 player in the league. So I'm with you though. Like if you guys are able to get like a pass first guard, like that would be huge for you guys.
Well, my thing is another thing I've thought about with KD in town. He's kind of had to step back, but I honestly think he's going to feast once again and be a lot more comfortable when it's his team again. He doesn't have to worry about who he's taking a back seat to.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, and I feel like KD kind of cares a little bit too much about whose team it is.
100%. 100%.
Like it should just be everybody's.
That really matters to him, I feel like. And it's like, bro, I'm just trying to win a championship, bro. Like,
yeah.
I don't care if you get the credit for being first player, second player. I don't give a fuck. Win.
It's a ring at the end of the day, dude. That's the thing. Like, I mean, like I know Finals MVP matters and everything like that, but like, I mean, I was talking about with Jalen Williams earlier. Like, if you watch these games, no one's looking at Jalen Williams like if he doesn't win Finals MVP, like, oh man, like that ring really doesn't count. Like, no, if you saw the game, you knew he balled out. And same thing when Kevin Durant won the Finals MVPs with Golden State and everything like that. I saw those games, I saw those finals. I wasn't looking at Steph Curry like you're undeserving of those rings. I'm only going to say you have the one championship against Boston because it's the only finals MVP you've had. No,
right.
I see what you did. And like, there's more than just the finals itself. Like, there's a series and everything leading up to it. Like, no one looks at Kobe Bryant and goes, he only won 2 finals MVPs. Like, no, he was absolutely killing it with Shaq. There's a reason why they say it was a 1A and 1B and not a 1A.
Exactly. The only person that gets that it counts against for not winning finals MVP is LeBron James. Ha! I'm just kidding. But that's how people make it seem.
No, like
so
but that's because they're comparing him with Jordan. You know.
So at the end of the day, what do you guys think ultimately happens with, or I should say, where is KD playing ball by draft night or next season?
Honestly, I can't pinpoint a team right now. I'm gonna go ahead and say though he's gonna be in the Eastern Conference. That's one thing I know.
Ooh,
I don't know why, but like my gut, I just envisioned him in a Miami Heat jersey. There's no justification why I believe that's the case. Just when I think about next year, I just envision him in a Heat jersey. I don't know why that is, but like that's just where my mind takes me.
I would love that. I would love that. And if we get if we trade with them, I want to get Andrew Wiggins.
Ooh,
yeah.
I
okay.
would love Wiggins on our team. Get Wiggins, get fucking the Khalil Ware kid,
That would be
and
really nice. Where is super underrated?
yeah, get
Well, it's
some picks and
interesting
call it a day.
because I saw one of those mock trades that was actually involving the Miami Heat, and it it's funny you mentioned Andrew Wiggins because he was one of the names mentioned in that trade as well as
Nice.
Duncan Robinson and a first round pick.
Duncan
Wow.
would fit really nice in your guys' system.
So there's definitely a lot of
Duncan would be
interesting
bold.
options out there. But like I said earlier, the Suns cannot afford to sell themselves short on this deal, considering everything they gave up to blow their finals roster up for KD. Like you at least at minimum you have to get what Luka got.
I
This is our
saw that.
GM's. Like I was saying, this is our GM's first shot to make his first impression. This is his first move ever, and it's gotta be
Gotta make
KD.
a thing, gotta
So
make a splash.
Those are big shoes to walk right into.
And then one thing else I want to ask you guys how you feel about the Suns. This was announced earlier today. I saw that I know there's a betting room that they have at the Phoenix Suns arena and everything, and they just announced today they're going to get rid of it and turn it into some different type of fan experience. There's no longer going to be in-game betting in the Suns arena. How do you guys feel about that, and what do you guys think they're going to change the room into?
Dang.
Yeah, they're taking FanDuel away from us.
Yeah, that was the FanDuel one. Yeah,
Well,
are you
since I'm the
serious?
only
No
one in
way.
Phoenix and,
that was a
and the
report I
only one
saw
that's
earlier. Yeah,
probably
maybe I think it was
That
a legit account. I don't think I was. Maybe I was sent held, but I don't know. I feel like that's something they wouldn't report on.
nah. That sounds they changed. They just changed the naming rights of the arena, so they're probably switching stuff around inside as well.
that'd be interesting.
Yeah, I'm the only person that actually has gone there and gambled, so I'm gonna be sad.
So,
I
I
might.
love watching the game and I love gambling and I love
Well
watching it
shoot,
and gambling at the same time.
maybe Ish got tired of everybody just betting KD hitting 25 points and the Suns losing.
No, I don't think he'd get
I
tired of
think
betting
KD 25 is going to
because I know
Suns
he'd
be
get a cut.
great. That's
I'm
funny.
sure whatever it is, it better be good. That's all I know.
100%. Like you're taking a big, you know, thing that's on the rise in the country, and it's just like, how are you gonna get better if you take FanDuel out?
Mm-hmm.
We can still use FanDuel before we walk into the building, or even in the building. I guess you could still use it. So I guess it's redundant. I guess with the online, maybe people weren't going. You know,
Who
maybe
knows?
people weren't going
Yeah.
to the. Maybe it was just me trying to keep FanDuel alive by myself.
It always seems like there's something interesting involving buildings and Arizona teams.
Every time, bro. Every
Whether it's
time
a
we have a
lease,
building,
whether we're not in a real stadium, etc., we're always having issues with a stadium.
all right. What's the next topic, bro?
We've got the Backies who just got back to 500 today,
Nice.
The
which has been
the
one hell of
the
a
D
season all
Johns,
year.
bro.
The D Bogs.
The D Johns, bro. The Tommy Johns.
The
That's
Wow.
so funny. Everybody's freaking having Tommy Johns, bro.
dude, even the
Jackson
Water
Grove, the
Boy had to
Tigers is
have
having this
Tommy
so yeah.
John.
That's so funny. Even the
Dude,
mascot's getting Tommy Johns. He can't throw no more shirts into the stands for
Oh,
a long
Baxter's gonna
time.
get
Is
Tommy
that for
John
real?
next.
Yeah, Baxter.
D Baxter is D Bagster.
No way. I did not know that. Holy crap.
Oh,
What?
Come on.
dude.
The mascot was having the surgery done too.
Yeah, no, he tore his elbow tendon throwing shirts into the stand.
I gotta look that up on YouTube, dude. I gotta see that. What? Oh my god.
Dude,
I shouldn't laugh at that.
The
That's
first
that is hilarious.
successful troll of Jack's tenure. The first successful troll of Jack's tenure, everyone.
Bro, we have yet
Ladies
to
and
take
gentlemen.
off the season though.
It is.
Mhm.
It is freaking hilarious, though, to think about it, because I mean, even the mascot would blow out his shoulder on this roster this year. Our
Just seeing how
pitching,
many people have gotten hurt though, like I generally wasn't shocked. Like that just it seems so fitting, like for like how baseball's gone this year and everything like that. Where you're like, yeah, like even the mascot got it too, and like I don't know if it was a joke or not, clearly it was, but like that's something that, like the fact that I wasn't shocked by it says enough.
Right.
the
It says
thing,
everything you need to know about the D-backs training staff. What are we doing?
we need a new training staff, and it's just like, it's the thing that's blowing my mind the most, and it's kind of impressive, really. We keep fighting to get back to 500, and this team has blown 14 saves.
That's actually incredible, yeah.
What
That's
they get for
impressive.
not trading for a ninth inning closer.
Which we need to.
I mean, if they don't see this now, then they're obviously not doing their jobs correctly.
Well, and it's just like, if you get some sort, like 85% of the time our offense shows up. So if you give some time, some kind of pitching effort, you should be winning. But it's just like, even like the other day, oh, we got it locked down. Even the guy that's been playing the best, you plug him in. Nope, we're gonna lose the game.
Yeah, it doesn't matter at this point. It's
Like Shelby Miller was almost untouchable until the other night, and then he even gets in on the blown save action.
well, I mean, we were hitting it out of the park like crazy in previous last year. Like I think even though we didn't make the playoffs, we had the most runs in baseball somehow.
That
I
we
don't get
did,
how that.
and then
I don't know
the
how that
opposite.
works.
We had the worst bullpen.
Yeah, so we can do it, but the thing about it is there comes a time where everything has to click. I don't care who's out there, man. Everybody's getting injured. They're still Major League Baseball players, man. We gotta find some
Ne-
consistency because we don't
Next
have the
man up.
luxury. We don't have the luxury to suck in the division where we have all these giants looming over us. Literally and figuratively.
Well, what is really nice, if you guys took a look at our schedule, the next 3 series we have: Rockies, White Sox, Marlins.
Ooh,
Oh,
okay.
that's
How many of those are
beautiful.
at home?
I'm not sure offhand, but like, if we don't at least go 6-3,
Yeah, I
that's a
feel like it's
fail.
gonna go at least above like 66% or better. Like I feel like that's like mandatory. Like 5-4, I look at that as like a disappointment. But like those some really good opportunities. Like as a Tigers fan, the White Sox are buns. Granted, last time we split the series with them, but I don't know. I give them like a little bit of a pass. Cause, like it's interdivision, everything like that. You always typically play your division opponents a little bit better than other teams. That's you could win 2 out of 3 there. The Rockies are the Rockies. Let's be real. Like that could be another one right there. And you
Bro,
said
they're
the
improving. They're
Marlins,
scary. They're improving
They
and
are
looking scary,
improving.
bro. They've won 4 in a row.
Yeah, they're improving.
They're
Dude, they
looking
got a
scary
dude
right?
that's
right
hitting
now.
Found a
100
loser.
on
You're
the
telling me
gun.
then.
They're coming up, bro. 4 in a row, 4 games.
Do you
They
play the
got a
Rockies
100
first?
mile an hour pitcher.
And they already beat the Diamondbacks one time this year.
Boo. But hey, like, this is a really big chance. Like, this is probably the
Not
best
this time,
stretch we're gonna
Bass.
get this year to make up some ground.
Yeah, well, I think the Diamondbacks, like it or love it, they're going to be struggling a lot more this year. It's not the struggles are not going to come to an end soon. Hopefully, we
It's
can do
that
what we need to do
9/11
against the
curse.
sucky teams, though. But the Marlins are another one of those sucky but sneaky. All 3 of those teams are in the same category: sucky but sneaky. Is what I like to call it. They're sucky, but they could beat you just because they do. Like the Marlins have been doing it this year, just beating people randomly. Like,
I was
oh,
gonna
we
say, they do
suck, but
have
we're
some
gonna
good
beat you
players
today,
down there.
guys. Sorry. Like, no. But Diamondbacks, though, I have faith in our batting. Ketel Marte is a superstar. Corbin Carroll's a superstar. Gino is a star. If they can just continue what they're doing, even if it's not super duper miraculous each game, they'll have those games where they can blast off. We just gotta, like you said, figure out who's gonna close these games down and keep the other teams from killing us. And when they are catching up, we need more run support. We can't just stop scoring after the 5th inning.
I've noticed this year, literally all of our runs, they'll just be in one section of the game. It'll either be at the beginning and then it stops. We'll go till the 6th, 7th inning, goose egg, and then we'll score like 8 or 9 runs.
Yeah, it's been really weird.
It's insane.
Can't win. Can't make the playoffs like that. Actually, So
Well, no. So, I mean, there's some situational, there's games where I've felt like if we come down, if we do make the playoffs and we don't make a move to shore up that bullpen, we'll be lucky to get out of the wild card.
Like we're still relying on our offense and didn't learn anything from last year when we were like a half a game out, watching to see if we make the playoffs or not from our couch. It's like we didn't
Yup.
learn anything from last year.
And let me just give one more offensive shout. If Eugenio Suarez, because we already know Corbin Carroll's probably going to be an all-star, but if Big Gino is not an all-star this year, it is an absolute crime.
And Corbin, those two have to make it in.
They have to, like, especially Suarez with how many grand slams he's had this year.
How many has he had?
He's hit 3 or 4. And he's had like 2 8 RBI games.
Test this man.
That is insane. That's not okay.
I pointed out to MLB, like, hey, don't test this man. So they might have listened.
Well, hey, keep testing him. He'll keep hitting it out of the park.
I'm looking to see who holds the league right now. Who'd you say had it? The guy for the Yeah, Suarez has the most right now with 3. Casey Schmidt and Nick Castellanos are tied for second with 2. Wow.
Yeah, if he doesn't make the All-Star, then then people just don't know about baseball. That it's a popularity contest, which it is.
Who was the guy that hit the 4 home runs in the one game?
Suarez.
Yeah,
that was
same guy.
Oh my gosh.
Dude is a monster, and the Mariners just gave him up.
It's pretty crazy how we got him.
That's insane. Like, I don't even know much about baseball, but if you're able to do that, like, I don't know too much about baseball. Like, he's got to be a top 10 player in the league. If you're able to pull off a stat like that, like, that's ridiculous. A 4 home run game and the most grand slams in the league, like, dude, like,
he's power.
Yeah, and I think he's in the top 5, top 10 home runs in the league too. So
he needs to be in top 5 All-Star voting.
He's top 5 All-Star voting?
No. Frankie wants him to be though.
I do.
With stats like that, he should be. Actually, I want to see who's like leading the All-Star right now.
Probably the LA Dodgers.
Yeah, everyone. I figured as much.
Yeah, the starting lineup for the Dodgers.
It's the AL and the NL is just going to be the Dodgers and Yankees.
Pretty much. Just go indoor.
I will tell you what, though. Paul Goldschmidt this year is turning back that clock a little bit, so I wouldn't be surprised if he snuck in.
I hate seeing or hearing Goldie outside of a D-back uniform.
I hate hearing any of
Not him as a person or a player, but it still hurts.
It hurts. He was supposed to be one of our big pillars, one of our guys.
He was supposed to be the Diamondbacks Fitz.
Hey, but Arizona's got to pay people and make them feel wanted and loved, and we don't do that good. So we lose all of our stars and veterans to other places.
Yeah.
Nash didn't retire here. Fitzgerald didn't even want to be honored. Marion won a championship with Dallas. Amari went and played for the Knicks. He retired his son though because he's a boss, and he.
I was gonna say
he got honored.
We got Marion back. We got Amari back.
Yeah, but Marion had to go win with Dallas.
That's fair.
Dude, there you Arizona players and there's like teams like I like just looking at that. What was it? 2008 Cardinals team. Like it's one of those few teams where like as a Detroit fan, I want like another team to win. Like and it hurts me to see them lose because like Pittsburgh's won so much already, and I want to see I love Kurt Warner. I want to see him win it. But man, Larry Fitzgerald, man, like what a Super Bowl he had. Like,
dude,
that's one of those things I watch like the Super Bowls. I'm just like that hurts. Like I wanted that team to win so badly.
My all-time fandom plays are attached to that Larry Fitzgerald. Just break up the center of the field.
So elite, dude. So elite, and he's such a humble guy too.
Nobody could tackle this man.
No.
I tell you what, I'm gonna take you back to I was actually in high school, during the Super Bowl. And right after Fitzgerald made that magical run, we went up with about a minute to go.
Yeah.
My bold ass told everybody in the house, I'm so confident the Cardinals are going to hold this off. If we don't, I'm going to strip and run down the street butt naked. And sure enough, Santonio Holmes happened.
Oh my god, dude! Wow, what's crazy about the San Antonio Holmes catch is like there was a pass like a play or two earlier where like he drops a wide open one like in the back of the end zone.
Dude,
Was he out of bounds though?
No, he was in bounds.
No, he was out of bounds, bro. His foot was on his foot.
His foot was
on his foot. Man,
I
For the
agree with that.
one he had like where he caught like that.
Yeah, it was.
No,
It
he's
was
that man
on
on
the
the
sideline.
Nah, man. Listen, we can have the conversation. We can have a scientist break it down with the official proof, and I will still say nah.
Cardinals will win.
There's a few of my losses like that where I'm like, yeah, no. Yep,
here's the thing. No matter how much you refer to that catch, the catch is not even in the conversation if you stop James Harrison from going 100 yards.
100%. That's the real play that everybody hates.
Why do people just like to throw like the first few yards of the Super Bowl? Like you're just a few years away, just throw the ball.
Yeah, but did Larry Fitz take care of that though after?
Yes, but if that never happened, we would have blown them out. It would have been a blowout.
It would have been a 2-touchdown game going to or 2-score game and going to halftime.
Yeah. And the thing is, I look back on that play and it's literally like what Pete Carroll did on the 1 yard line. Why are you throwing it right in that
play in sports history, in my opinion? I don't know what he was smoking. Like, I don't get that. Everyone's like, well, catch him off guard. It's 2nd and goal. You have Marshawn Lynch. There's 17 seconds left. Worst comes to it, he gets stopped and you call a timeout. Like if it was
you want to know something crazy about that? I was on the football field that day.
What?
I was a security guard, and I was literally in front of the Seahawks cheerleaders watching the game on the grass.
That is, so you were there when that happened, or no?
I was in the building, bro. I swear to God, I saw the Jermaine Kearse catch. Like
that was such, dude.
Directly watching it, like from field level on the ground, going bananas. Like all I was praying is, please God, don't let the Seahawks win in our building. Literally prayed to God, hey, please do not let these people win in our building. I was like, yes. Boy, I met Bill Belichick. Like I didn't get to like talk to him at length. He walked by me though, and I shouted to him that he was the GOAT. Don't worry, I'm gonna let Jack right back in when he is available. There he is.
Oh my gosh, what?
Yeah, so he was walking past me, bro, and it was like him. He was mobbed by a bunch of like reporters and everything. I'm like, you're the GOAT.
To be fair, I think that's something that probably did make him the GOAT right there. Like I feel like that Super Bowl right there was solidified Belichick as the greatest.
Oh yeah, for sure,
dude.
I think it's the best Super Bowl ever too. It's a hot take of mine, but I think Super Bowl 49 is the best Super Bowl that's ever been played. It's the best, one of the best football games I've ever watched in general, regardless of the stature. But in my opinion, I think it's the best Super Bowl ever.
I don't know if it was before or after that game, but I saw on ESPN they had like brackets for the best Super Bowl ever, and the Cardinals Steelers actually was the champion one that
That's
won.
arguable. You could if you argue that, like I won't disagree with you. Like when people view that,
that's just what the brackets were on ESPN. They went through every Super Bowl that had happened. I don't know if it was before that Tom Brady one was played, but it literally that was voted as the best Super Bowl of all time. I was like,
that definitely an argument for it. That game was like I never saw it live. But I've seen like the highlights and stuff like that, and seen like the documentaries on it, and
it was so back and forth.
Argument. Like I'm not gonna look at you sideways if you pick that as the greatest Super Bowl ever. Like that's a valid.
How does that change Kurt Warner's legacy if he wins that game, dude? Yeah. Oh my God,
dude, Kurt Warner has played three full seasons in the NFL where he didn't get hurt, and every year he made it to the Super Bowl at the very least, which is insane. So you're talking about a 2-time champion, MVP, and imagine had they beaten the Patriots in 2001 as well. Like he's in probably arguably a top 5 QB all time, like resume wise.
Yeah, they're like, is he better than Brady? Is he better than Brady? Like he's Patrick Mahomes.
See, at that point. I feel like if he gets a full career and he didn't run into that string of injuries and inconsistency, we could be looking at him having another 20, 30,000. But I mean, at the end of the day, he still is the greatest undrafted player of all
All
time.
time.
Easily.
And he
Easily.
played for us, which, I will forever remember that. Like that, when we signed Kurt Warner back in the day, like I was hyped for that, even when I knew he wasn't starting. And when he beat out Matt Leonard and took us on that run, it was just gravy.
I was happy because we had Kevin Kolb, and also the greatest show on turf was one of my favorite teams of all time. So I was like, hell yeah, I
Still
know
one of
this
the best
guy's good.
groups.
Marshall Falk too, dude. Oh my gosh, like
Ugh,
wow.
Marcel
I know I'm
Falk,
a
Isaac
basketball
Bruce,
fan.
Torrey Holt. Oh my god, what a fucking team, dude. Marvin.
You're nuts, dude. Like I know my whole YouTube channel is like prioritized around like basketball, but man, like I could create some football content too, man. I freaking love football. There's no time of the year like it. Something special about it.
That's why we're bringing you in for the season preview.
Oh, you better believe it. If you guys have a fantasy league, count me in, dude. I'm in for that.
Oh yeah, let's get it.
Let's go.
Also,
awesome.
Something else for bragging rights we can actually do tallies for this year.
Yeah, we were bad. We were bad. Hey, well, I would like to say, if you guys like what you're seeing, what you're hearing, follow us on all social medias. The social medias will be in the description below. We'll also put Jack's channel in there as well now, and Jack is going to be a regular. He's going to be with us. And so get to know him, get to love him. And yeah, like you said, if you want anything from us, it's all in the description, baby.
Interact, just have fun. We love doing this. We are aiming to build credibility in the sports community. And, we love doing this. I really enjoy doing this every week. So thank you guys for giving us this platform.
Yeah, thank you for viewing. Thank you for having me on once again and for deciding to keep me on. Like seriously, this has been amazing for me. Great experience, and I love talking with you guys. Like the way like the chemistry all works out together, it's been perfect. So thank you once again for this opportunity.
Yeah, definitely, dude.